Society believes smart people simply possess more data, facts, and answers, but that couldn't be further from reality. The real difference isn't the volume of knowledge they hold, it's the unique way they process the world, deconstruct problems, and gracefully handle the exact chaos that breaks everyone else.
You don't need a flawless memory or straight A's to be highly intelligent. You merely need to think the way smart people think. Today, I'm revealing 5 simple ways intelligent individuals wire their brains differently. These strategies are easy to master, yet the vast majority overlook them entirely.
You don't need a flawless memory or straight A's to be highly intelligent. You merely need to think the way smart people think. Today, I'm revealing 5 simple ways intelligent individuals wire their brains differently. These strategies are easy to master, yet the vast majority overlook them entirely. Implement these shifts, and the transformation will be immediate. People will start seeking your guidance. Problems won't stress you out, and you'll finally feel completely in control. Let's dive right in. Number 1, they never fight just to be right.
Here's a trap the majority fall into. When confronted with a disagreement, they instantly transform it into a battlefield. They argue, lose their temper, and desperately try to expose the other person as foolish. But intelligent people execute a radically different strategy. Instead of engaging in combat, they ask genuine questions.
Real questions, not manipulative traps designed to make someone stumble. They ask, "Help me understand why you view it that way," or "What happened to make you feel this way?" Their objective isn't to conquer, it's to learn. Here's the fascinating part. When you abandon the battlefield and adopt curiosity, people actually listen. Their defensive walls completely crumble. They open up. That is where transformative dialogue is born and where minds permanently change. Smart people recognize this psychological secret. You can never forcefully coerce someone into alignment, but you can expertly help them navigate their own logic. And when they do, they frequently rewrite their own beliefs. Number 2, they consistently visualize the big picture. Ordinary minds get paralyzed by microscopic setbacks. They bomb an exam and genuinely believe they're a failure. Someone rejects them and their self-worth shatters. One miserable day convinces them their entire world is collapsing. However, intelligent individuals operate like a camera lens. They continually zoom out. They don't just stare at a failed test. They recognize patterns. Perhaps their study techniques need an overhaul. Maybe they simply demand more sleep or require tutoring. They refuse to process rejection as proof of inadequacy. Instead, they digest it as valuable data. What lesson can be extracted? What can be tested next time? When you widen your perspective, catastrophic problems magically downgrade into solvable puzzles. Smart people relentlessly ask, what is actually occurring here? What variables can I explicitly control? What should I try next?
They entirely refuse to panic. They systematically plan. Number 3, they exclusively worry about elements they can alter. This principle is an absolute game changer.
Most individuals drain staggering amounts of energy agonizing over uncontrollable forces. What peers secretly think, impending weather, a boss's unpredictable mood, or hypothetical disasters next week. That anxiety yields absolutely nothing except overwhelming exhaustion. Intelligent people operate by one unbreakable rule. If they cannot control it, they refuse to think about it. Instead, they strictly channel their focus towards actionable reality. You cannot control the rain, but you can control grabbing an umbrella. You cannot control others' private judgments, but you can govern your own integrity. You cannot guarantee you get the job, but you control delivering a breathtaking interview. This mental pivot preserves immense energy, fuel they can weaponize to actively solve real problems. When you deliberately stop agonizing over the unstoppable, you finally fix the things that actually matter.
Number 4, they wield silence as a tactical weapon. The average person is terrified by quiet moments. When a conversation drops into silence, they frantically scramble to plug the void, generating noise just to talk. Conversely, brilliant minds are entirely comfortable within the silence. They intensely process before speaking. They consume more through listening than they broadcast through speech, patiently allowing others to fully exhaust their thoughts. Here's a phenomenal dynamic. Deliberate silence commands immediate attention. When you intentionally pause before answering, the audience perceives your upcoming words as deeply important.
When you actively listen without interrupting,
People feel profoundly valued. Quiet individuals frequently project a higher intellect than loud people.
Not because they inherently know more, but because their verbal economy is remarkably intentional. Try this technique. Next time a question is asked, silently count to 3 before answering. You'll be astounded by the dramatic elevation in your responses. Number 5. They implement a pause instead of blindly reacting. This might be the most crucial habit. Most individuals are trapped in a state of immediate reaction. A driver cuts them off and blind rage ignites instantaneously. Someone drops a mean comment and they snap back. When obstacles block their path, they complain or entirely surrender.
Brilliant minds execute a radically different protocol. They pause. When an external force aggravates them, they consciously draw a breath. They internalize the situation. Is this moment actually worth getting upset over? What is the most constructive method to handle this? When confronted with unprovoked rudeness, they refuse to return fire.
They think, this person is likely battling a terrible day. How can I respond in a way that helps? This isn't weakness. It is the ultimate manifestation of intellectual dominance. The individual who maintains calm while the room devolves into emotional chaos holds all the power.
The mind that calculates while others react consistently builds superior choices. Here is the undeniable truth. You absolutely don't need to be the loudest presence in the room. You don't need to be a walking encyclopedia, nor do you require perfect academic records. You fundamentally just need to process reality differently than the masses.
Deploy strategic questions rather than explosive arguments. Hunt for underlying patterns instead of panicking over isolated setbacks. Aggressively lock on to what you can control and cleanly let go of what you cannot. Develop comfort with quiet moments and forcefully pause before you react. The majority will ignore these shifts.
They will continue their endless cycle of arguing, agonizing, and reacting. But if you practice these 5 foundational habits, something spectacular will unfold. You will spot hidden solutions where ordinary minds see impenetrable problems. You will maintain a steady pulse when the world descends into stress.
You will execute superior decisions because you are calculating, not blindly retaliating. People will gravitate toward your orbit, wanting to know exactly how you remain so cool under pressure. And the greatest part? None of this demands a miraculous genetic gift. It strictly requires you to observe, evaluate before acting, and choose your responses over reflex. That is authentic intelligence, and now you hold the blueprint to build it. Here is my challenge to you right now. Select just a single habit from this list. Do not attempt to overhaul your entire life simultaneously. That is precisely how most fail.
Perhaps you want to initiate that crucial pause. Or maybe your first mission is practicing genuine questions instead of arguing. Choose one and aggressively focus on it this next week. To keep yourself permanently accountable, smash that subscribe button and ring the notification bell.
I construct high-impact videos exactly like this every single week. Content engineered to upgrade your mental software, skyrocket your confidence, and equip you to dominate life's challenges. When you subscribe, you join an elite community obsessed with growth and thinking differently.
If this breakdown brought you value, hit the thumbs up to force the algorithm to push these critical ideas to others. Finally, drop a comment below declaring precisely which of these 5 habits you will deploy first. I read every single response, and I love tracking your evolution. Remember, you don't have to change your entire life overnight.
You simply need to shift your thinking, one precise habit at a time. Thank you immensely for watching, and I will see you in the next video.